All right, we're here today at the beautiful Okanagan Crush Pad, a custom crush facility in the central Okanagan, beautiful Summerland, BC, on perhaps one of the finest fall days I've seen in a while. Wow, not bad for the end of October. Anyways, we're here to show off their new DIEMME Velvet 50. That's a 5,000 liter tank press, and wow, check it out. So the first thing you'll notice about the DIEMME presses is the super beefy construction. It's got a really strong 304 stainless bed rail and main post system to support the whole drum and all the components. So the whole thing is very stable and very, very rugged. One of the great things about working with DIEMME is they really represent the state-of-the-art technology in today's membrane presses. You can see right here on top of the juice shields, the old school tripwire system has been replaced with a photoelectric sensor. So anytime somebody touches it or anything leans on that, it immediately shuts down the press, and it's a great safety feature, and it really doesn't take any setting or recalibrating from season to season or day to day. It's fantastic. Well, as I mentioned before, this is the Velvet 50, which is a 5,000 liter closed or tank press. What that means is that inside of this closed tank there are 6 juice channels which have been designed. They're trapezoidal in shape, and the slots have been cut and polished to maximize drainage and also to make it the easiest to clean and self-clean. So as the drum is turning, the grape skins are falling off the channels. They're not sticking in there and clogging them up and therefore slowing down the drainage. Also, what we've got on this press right here is an optional automatic axial feed valve. And what it is an air-actuated bladder valve that you can open and close and use it to feed crushed and destemmed fruit in manual or automatically through the end of the press right here. So as opposed to loading it through an open door on the top of the press like we saw in an earlier shot, this one is very easy. The drum can be rotated as you're filling, and therefore maximizing free run drainage as you're filling the press with the crushed and destemmed fruit. In the DIEMME Velvet series, the 5,000 liter and presses above come stock with an air or pneumatic door system, and basically that's a pneumatic piston that opens and closes the doors, and then there's also a pneumatic seal underneath the door so that when your grapes are filled and the door is sealed, it's actually a complete sealed unit, and you can use it as a tank for macerating grapes overnight, just doing a cold soak with them before you press them, but it basically becomes an extra tank around the winery. Well, here we got the guts of a DIEMME press right now. Really the center of attention here is the Becker compressor. It's the top of the line compressor in the world right now. You'll find it in all the very best presses. We've also got the blower right here. Normally the blower is just used for evacuating the membrane as it's going into a vacuum. But DIEMME, because it's such a high volume machine, low pressure but high volume, DIEMME has also decided to incorporate the blower into the inflating of the bladder for the first stages to get the bulk of the air in, and then turns over the job to the Becker to do the final pressurization of the membrane. This way it saves you time during your press cycles. It also takes the load off the compressor and only makes the compressor do what it was designed to do, and that is pressurize the membrane. You also see we've got another compressor on board right here. The only function this compressor serves is just to run the door pneumatics. So this is running your seal on the door, and it's also running the ram which opens and closes the door pneumatically. So a completely independent system from the bladder and the drum itself. And as you can see, in general, the components are overbuilt, and it just makes it a much sturdier, much more durable, and much more dependable machine. One of the great features about the DIEMME presses are the Siemens touch control panels. They're easy to use, they're very intuitive, very well laid out, easy to see the progress of the programs you're in, easy to reset the programs. You can stop a program on the fly, you can change a parameter of the program, change the number of revolutions, change the time that it spends in draining. It's such an easy one to use. You've got the option to program your own custom programs where you control up to 80 different steps of the press. So really there's no type of scenario with grape pressing that you're going to run into that you're not going to be able to handle with this controller. We've got the option to switch the machine over to full manual, in which case you can control the rotation, you can control the blower, and you can control the compressor and actually manually press off your load of grapes. A couple more options that we can get on the DIEMME press are a jet pulse washing system for the juice channels, and that's a system where you can actually do high pressure water bursts through the channels in between press cycles to eliminate having to get inside and do a full cleaning of the press. So it'll basically unclog your channels, get some of the juice skins and seeds that have been stuck in there over the pressing cycle, and get it ready for the next pressing in a relatively short amount of time.
SellerTech could best be described as my main supplier. If I was to look at our general our general journal, our general ledger in the accounting program, I think they would be the largest line item. And this is not a bad thing, actually. It's a very good thing. It speaks volumes to who they are. They're very good at what they do, and they service the hell out of what they do. And I'm quite impressed with the stuff that we've picked up from them this year. Basically a winery, and it's gone quite well.
Well, that pretty much shows you the DIEMME press in a nutshell. They come in both the closed velvet tank press style or in the open slotted Technova style. The presses start at about 1,500 liter size, and you go right up to a 75,000 liter press in size. So if you'd like to step your winery up to the #1 selling press in the winery world today, give us a call at SellerTech and we'll hook you up.